Welcome to the Florida Treasure Coast market update. Today, we're talking about bathrooms. Ugh.
You better get fired up.
All right. So, today, what I want to talk about is the value of a third bathroom over having two bathrooms, right? Square footage for, say, a bedroom, a dining room, a living room is going to be much cheaper to build and much less valuable when you're going to sell than square footage for a kitchen or a bathroom, right? And the reason is with a bedroom or a living room or a dining room, it's just a couple walls and a floor and a ceiling, and that's it. That's all you got, right? It's really cheap to build. But once you start adding in bathrooms and kitchens, you've got appliances and plumbing and more electric and toilets and showers and sinks, and you've got it all, right? So there's a lot of different things going on that are going to raise that price per square foot. So how much is an extra bathroom? And really, there's a couple questions that should answer, right? So what questions would you have? Number one, it'll answer how much more valuable a bathroom tends to be. So if you've got a third bedroom, but all the comps that you're looking at, right? I get so many people that are like, oh, my neighbor's home sold for whatever. So my home should sell for. But listen, we're looking at the overall package, right? So if you've got a third bathroom and I'm having a tough time finding a home with similar square footage that has a third bathroom, I can look at the difference in price per square foot on homes with three bathrooms versus two. I can use comps that have two bathrooms, and then I can add in that additional value for what a third bathroom tends to add on average. And now I've got a great comp, right? I'm in a great position. You can do that, and this is kind of the answering the second question. You can do that for anything, right? So if you've got a home with or without a pool, I can compare it to homes that are the opposite. You get a pool, I can compare it to homes that don't. You don't have a pool, I can compare it to homes that do. And I can look at the added value difference of that pool, and then I can either subtract it or add it on if you have it or don't have it, right? So you can do that with anything. You can do it with a sauna. You can do it with a metal roof. You can do it with a bigger lot. You can do it with anything. And this is how realtors should be doing, how appraisers should be doing their we call them as agents, we call them CMAs, which is a comparative market analysis, because you're comparing different properties in a market analysis. And of course, appraisers call them appraisals, right? But they're very similar things. So today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share screen. Let's go over to share screen. And you should now be able to see the MLS. So this is the tool that realtors use to be able to look up properties, pull comps, find active properties for sale for all my buyers, find sold properties for comps for my sellers. So what we're going to come in and do is I'm going to go to Port St. Lucie, and we're going to look up single family homes only. So we're not looking at townhouses. We're not looking at condos, anything like that. And I want properties that have exactly two bathrooms. Okay. And we're going to come back up, and this is active. We're going to come to sold. And let's look in the last, we'll say, let's see if we can get away with 1/1 of 2023. So that's roughly 2 months, not quite 2 months, but yeah, so we got 385 close. So that's phenomenal. I am also going to say that we do not have a pool. And the reason I'm saying no is because if nobody has a pool, then the value addition is zero, right? Whereas if I let pools be a part of this, I might have a $50,000 pool and you've got a $150,000 pool. That's going to have a drastic difference on the added value of a pool, and it might skew my numbers a little bit. So I'm going to take pools out. We still got a lot of sales. It's too many sales. I want to nail it down a little bit more. So let's be a little more specific. Let's come into year built, and we will go, I'm going to go newer. Why am I going newer? Because if you look at an 03 home, that home could have everything in it from 2003, or they could have completely remodeled the thing, right? I'm trying to keep these homes as apples to apples as possible. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to keep it as close as possible. So we're going to go back to 2015. That should, okay, so we got 121 sales. That's great. So 121 sales, I'm going to come into, and these are all sold. I'm going to come into CMA, you selected. Why didn't it like that? Let's try it again. Use all results. All right, statistical CMA, hit next. Come down here, hit view, and you're going to see that the sold price, that's the one we care about, the sold price per square foot was $223.44. 223.44. And I want to notate also that the average square footage is 1,837. The reason is I assume a 3-bed is going to average a little bit more square footage because they're adding on that bathroom. Now, obviously, you could just make all the rooms smaller and add in a bathroom and it's the same square footage, maybe even smaller. But on average, you're going to see a higher square footage, I'm betting. And we'll see. Maybe it'll prove me wrong, right? So now I'm going to come back and we are going to look at exactly the same thing, but I'm going to change this to 3 bathrooms. Okay. We got 28. Awesome. So I'm going to come in here to CMA, use all results. And we're going to do the same statistical CMA. We're going to take a look at it, come down here, hit the view button, and you can see we've got a, wow, that is interesting. I've got a hypothesis here. 209.48 a square foot, but you can see the average square footage is 24.29. So the problem we're having here, I almost guarantee, I don't want to waste time going in depth here, but I'm betting we've got a lot of homes that are bigger, maybe duplexes, triplexes, more remodels, and we've only got 28 comps as well. Are these all 2050? Yeah, they are. So that's really interesting. In fact, I'm going to come into list. I want to come into ascending. I want to see what some of these lower end properties looked like. That is really interesting. That's a good looking home. Let's come in here. That's a good looking home. Let's come in here. That's a good looking home. Okay, I want to try one more thing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to list. I want to see what the median is. I want to see if there's a number either really high or really low that's throwing it off. So on 28, it's going to be the average of 14 and 15, which is right here. So you've got, okay, 203 and 2. Oh, man. So that's 4. Let's get a calculator out. I'm not that smart. 209.81 plus 203.78 times 0.5 equals. So you got 206.80 a square foot is the median, right? I'm going to write median by it. Now, let's go back and do that exact same thing on the 2 baths. Where are we at? Where are we at? Right here. Boop. And we got a 2 and a 2. And I'm going to hit list. We got how many? We don't have 28. We got 121. So that means number 61 is going to be that median price. Yeah, here we have one that doesn't even have a price on it. So let's come down to 61. 61 is right here. And the median is 218.21. Dude, that is throwing me off. I have no idea why a home per square foot. Okay, I'm going to throw one more thing out there, but this doesn't really help me prove anything, but it does show you something that I think is very helpful. The only thing I can think of is the average square footage on a 2-bath was 1,837 square feet. When you look at a 3-bath, you're looking at almost exactly 600 square feet more. And I always tell people, when you're looking at a home, pretend you've got, I know this is ridiculous and it makes no sense, right? Well, okay, let's make it a little more palatable here. Let's assume the whole house is just 1 bedroom. It's a 10 by 10 bedroom. It's 100 square feet. That property, assuming you've got an $80,000 lot, right? Let's say the structure itself costs $10,000 to build. You're 90 grand in. So when you take $90,000 divided by 100 square feet, you're at $900 a square foot. Now, does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. Why is it so high? It's really high because you've only got 100 square feet, and that land is a base cost that is adding into that equation. So when you start to look at properties that are on smaller normal lots and they're 7 figures, you're going to see that the price per square foot is going to be lower on an average new construction build than it would be on a, say, 15, 16, 1700 square foot home, right? Because here again, so we're saying 900 a square foot. Now imagine I got a 2,000 square foot home, and let's say the home itself only costs me 150 a square foot, right? It's super cheap. 150 a square foot times 2,000, that's 300 grand, plus the 80 is 380. And then I'm dividing that by 2,000 square feet. I'm looking at 190 a square foot, right? So that's why you're seeing, that's why I believe you're seeing this massive difference, is because you're seeing a massive change in square footage. So let's come back and I want to, like, let's see if I'm wrong. Am I right or am I wrong? So let's come back into quick search, and I'm going to go Lucy. And we're going to look at properties that sold since 1/1. I'm addicted to this stuff, guys. It's just real, especially for realtors. But if you guys get any enjoyment out of this, man, I think this is just good to know before you buy, before you sell. It's just good info to nerd out on this stuff. So this is all single family homes that have sold since the first of the year. Right here, you can see the blue dot representation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into sold price, right? We go price, and I'm going to put it into 3 different groups. We're sold right here. I'm going to pick kind of a first-time home buyers. Or wait, I want to go not price. I want to go square footage. So I'm going to go up to, let's say, 1750. And then I'm going to do 1750 to 2500. And then I'm going to do 2500 plus. And I want you guys to see what the difference in price per square footage is, right? And I do want to get rid of some things that would add a lot of value. Like waterfront is going to be no. Private pool is going to be no. Yeah, I don't want to invest too much time making this perfect, but there we go. So we got 328 sales. So I'm going to come up to square foot living, and we're going to go up to 1750, right? So my hypothesis is the less square footage, the more per square foot it's going to be, right? The challenge with that is when you get into homes that are like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet, those people have money. So they tend to buy a lot of really nice upgrades that add to the price per square footage. So that might be skewed too, but we're going to look at this first. Let's look at CMA, use all results. So everything that's sold in the last, we'll just say this year, right? The last roughly 7 weeks-ish, maybe 8 weeks, that are single family homes up to 1,750 square feet. They have sold for $230.34 a square foot. Okay, $230.34 a square foot. So now I'm going to come back. I'm going to make the minimum square footage 1,750. We're going to look up to 2,500. Whoa, 25,000. Let's change to 2,500. We got 143. I'm going to hit CMA. Use all results. Man, do my math. There's not a lot over 2,500 square feet. Hit next. View. And we're looking at a sold price per square foot of $204.70. So this is absolutely supporting what I was saying here, right? But now I'm guessing it's going to go back up a little bit because now we're getting into people who've got money and want to spend it. Okay, so now we're looking from 2,500 plus. We got 22 results. Again, these are not on waterfront. They don't have a pool. I could have made the acreage a little bit smaller too, but I'm not going to. And whoa, this really supports what I was saying. 183.71 a square foot. So you can see as the square footage gets smaller, the price per square foot changes. And as the square footage gets smaller, the price per square foot comes down, right? As it gets smaller, it goes up. It's inverse. Man, I'm confusing you guys. So the smaller the home you got, the more per square footage you're probably going to get. Again, because that base lot is worth $80,000, $90,000 for a normal lot. Whereas if you go with a 2,500 square foot home, the $80,000, $90,000 for that lot has a lesser impact on the total price per square foot, right? That's why. So if we dumb that, let's go back to the bathroom, right? If we only looked at homes that had a specific square footage, man, I think I'm getting too nerdy. I'm going to lose you guys, but it's okay. So we're going to go, we're going to do the same exact thing, right? But I'm going to put in a square footage so we stay roughly the same. Port St. Lucie, sold since the beginning of the year. 2023, and we want single family homes only. And we're going to look at 2 bathrooms. And again, I want to get rid of waterfront and a pool. And age wise, we'll look at 2015. I know I'm going to lose some. We only had 22 on the 3-bed, so I'm going to go back to 2010. So we got 110 here, right? But now I'm going to come to square foot living, and I'm going to make it kind of that average. Right now in Port St. Lucie, the average is around 1900 square feet. So I'm going to go 1,700 to 2,000. Let's see what this does to the data. So we got 55. When I look at a list, that median is going to be number 28, right? So let's go price per square foot, descend. Come on now. And number 28 is, so on a 2-bed, average square footage, nothing special about it, you're looking at $211.35 per square foot. My hypothesis, we'll see if I'm right, is that a 3-bed should now be higher because we're limiting the square footage. Let's come down here. Let's pump this up to a 3. We only got 1. I know how to change this though. So that one went for 210, which is almost exactly the same. But here's what else I can do, right? I can come down to, we'll leave it at 2. But I'm going to say you've got to have, or let's get rid of it. Let's come down to baths total. And I'm going to go 2.1. Let's do it this way. I'm going to do this. So total bath. All right. So we got 54. So let's look at the middle of 27 and 28. It's going to be our median. We are at roughly 212. So it didn't really change. Right. Now, some realtors will enter a half bath as 0.1 or 0.25 or 0.5. So what I'm going to come down here and say is 2.1 3. Okay. And we've only got 2 sales. Yeah, so this isn't good enough data, honestly. We're at 210, so it's almost exactly the same. So what I'm seeing is, and this is kind of debunking what I'm saying, that bathroom really doesn't add any value. Does it cost you more? Yeah, it costs you more to make it than it does a bedroom or a living room or a dining room. But when it comes to actual sales value, again, I'd want to poke a little bit deeper because I only got 2 comps here. But I'm not seeing any drastic difference in a 2-bath versus a 3-bath. So for those of you who have 2 baths, you can compete with 3 baths and you can use them as comps. For those of you who have 3 baths and you think, hey, it cost me an extra $12,000, you're probably not going to get $12,000 out of it. You're lucky if you get $2,000, $3,000 out of it, right? So that was helpful for me. Honestly, this all started because I wanted to get better at understanding the numbers and everything, right? So I pick things that really appeal to me, things that I want answers to. You guys are just along for my nerdy ride. But if there's ever anything that you want to see, anything you want me to dig into statistically, market statistics that you want me to look into, let me know and we can certainly do it. But guys, I appreciate you joining me this wonderful Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.